you want to like notice other things that are going on. So look around the room, notice other people, notice other things going on in the room while you're taking deep breaths through your nose and then out through your mouth.
All right, boys, welcome back to the T1K Pod.
Yes, now sponsored by Celsius.
Don't give them free money, dude. Wrap.
They didn't pay us a bunch of money?
Yeah, wrap a label around that. We can't expose our $100 or our 100 viewers to. Let's start the episode over. I can't even talk. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the T1K Pod. We are ripping.
Don't cut any of this.
Okay. I just tried to do the intro once and absolutely just bombed on a joke about Celsius. So we are starting over. Guys, the viewers have been writing in questions and
good questions.
We just looked at them like legitimately like excellent questions.
Every question is nice.
Yeah. So, dude, like all the bros that have just been writing in, like just keep doing it. Like we appreciate it. And it's awesome hearing like what you guys want to know. Cause sometimes we're on kind of our own island, you know,
it makes it fun. We're actually talking to people.
Yeah. We're ripping, man.
Yeah.
How are you doing? What's going on?
I'm in all cashmere, so I'm doing great. I don't know if you could tell.
Are those cashmere sweatpants?
This cashmere sweatpants, cashmere sweater. I got it from the McDonald's of Kashmir. That's what my buddy told me the store was.
You're trying to get investigated by the IRS. Is what I think you're doing.
No.
I think
no, Joe
showing up
Begley.
in all cashmere and you're like, hey, look at my new collectible that I got. Isn't it great?
I got a big tax bill coming next year.
You do?
And I know it. Yes, I do.
Okay, hell yeah,
and
dude.
I'm gonna pay it. I swear.
Well, your on-stream earnings like would indicate that that's the case. Brandon, can you pull up JC's public profile on the poker thing?
Yeah, the chickens are coming home to roost. I'm going to have to pay the piper. All I've done is lose the previous years, but then something happened.
Yeah, so you got to tell me about this because this chart is fucking insane. This looks like a Bitcoin chart. So over on the right, this is sort of accumulation of all the games that you've played in public, just like live games.
Stream games, yeah.
All right, so it looks like 2021, 2022. You weren't really playing much on stream.
There wasn't a lot of streams. I was playing a little bit here and there, maybe like once a month or something.
So you just got down here, though. You're figuring it out. All right, so you're up 276K on the live streams. And then there's massive dip. Was the massive dip the one where me and you were sitting in the 210-degree sauna when you were like taking that little sobriety break a couple years ago?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. So, I was giving insane action for a long time on the stream. Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. So, I mean, you need to give action to get action, and you want to build a reputation of being a loose, aggressive player, of being, a maniac. I can sit back and say that like, oh yeah, it was all on purpose. No, like I was tilting too.
Yeah. When
you're giving action and you're losing, it can spiral and you can end up giving way more action than you planned on. So I was doing some spiraling too and playing poorly, but I was definitely conscious of every time that I was on stream for these years, like 2022, since I started, I was just conscious that I'm on camera. People are going to see these hands. I play a lot of games off camera. So I need to be playing a shit ton of hands, and I need to be putting a lot of money in with bad hands. The last thing I want is people thinking I'm tight, thinking that I'm coming to a game and I'm not going to give action. So I gave incredible action for a very long time. And I also, we call it punting. Yeah. Just putting in lots of money with shit hands and calling people off light, bluffing way too frequently. And, but it kind of solidified my seat. So it's like, when they
so
form,
you're playing a long-term strategy. You're not necessarily playing to win that day.
So,
you're playing to get on the streams.
Yeah, it's a bit of that, and then on good honest punting and tilting. It goes into it too.
By good honest, you mean like genuine. You're not trying to punt or tilt.
I was just punting
and tilting.
Yeah, like it's not all on purpose.
Yeah, like I know for a fact the day that we sat in the 205-degree sauna and you lost $100,000, you were not trying to lose $100,000 that day. I could tell by the look in your eyes.
You go in with the intention of giving good action and building a good image, and then you start losing, and then you get upset or you get emotional, and then you start really punting hard, way more than you planned on. So it's a dangerous game to play, being the guy that's giving the action. But what it did is it solidified my position on the stream as someone that is going to get lots of seats, invites back. He makes games more exciting. The action is way better when he sits down. So, I mean, in the end, it really helped. Not that I don't do that anymore, but like I think the last 2 years, I've made a conscious effort of playing better poker.
So the advice that you're giving about giving action to get action, that's advice for someone in a really specific situation. That's advice for someone that is a profitable poker player, that is able to play well, that is trying to get seats in games. And it's not advice for someone that is bad. And traditionally, if you're losing money playing poker, don't try to while out even harder to get in games.
If you're trying to play on live streams and you're trying to play televised games, you have to play an exciting style.
Yeah.
If you sit down and you play 15 to 25% VPIP, and you're not like getting in very many spots at all, you're just kind of like watching paint dry, and you're not going to move the needle. So why would the stream invite you back?
Yeah, so like when Slick Rick is making the list for the lodge, he's not just considering, okay, who are the best poker players that we have available? They're also considering like who's the most exciting.
Who's good action, who's good for the game. A lot of these factors.
There's certain people that I would imagine get a seat at that game no matter what. Like if they just want to come in.
Yes. Once the lineup is set, they'll make... If it's like a really big VIP, they'll sometimes bump people off the stream. But like once the lineup's set, it's set. But there's a lot of guys that they can call in and be like, I want to play this week, and they'll lock them in right away.
When was the last time you got bumped off a stream?
I don't recall the last time I got bumped.
But it's been a long time.
Well, actually, I got bumped off a Hustler. Hustler has a lot of big names, so
yeah,
it's a much bigger pool. But that was still kind of sad because I was
genuinely excited.
Well, I have to fly there. I have to fly there.
Oh, so you were already on a plane?
Yeah, and I said, like I'll come play, but I want to play. I want to play multiple streams. I don't want to fly to LA just to play one day. And I was talking to Ryan, and we booked it, and then he had some big VIPs come in the last second, and so I couldn't get on a certain day. But I think I ended up getting 2 out of 3 games, so it was fine. And I understand his situation. But here I don't think I've ever gotten bumped at the lodge. But
Brandon, when was the last time you got bumped off a comedy show?
Like completely off the lineup?
Like you were on the show and then somebody showed up and they're like, "Hey, we'll get you on the next one."
Yeah, a while now.
It's been a minute, right?
It's been a minute, yeah.
I feel like it used to happen to me. It's very occasional, but I had to do it with Hidalgo recently where I fucked up and booked 8 when I should have booked 7, and I had to punt somebody. I had to punt Dale and Austin Young. I felt bad about it, but that was a genuine fuck up.
Yeah, I think if it's your friend and you let them know, it's not like a big deal. I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't really, and then I'm like, fine. Letting me know like at the show, I'd be like, fuck you, but otherwise, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, well, welcome back to T1K, where we analyze the parallels between comedy and poker. All right, moving on. So many parallels, don't you think? It's crazy how our two worlds are so different, yet one is the same.
It's so the same. The high stakes streams at the lodge are all pretty much run by Doug. So he makes the lineups. I don't think I'm not gotten bumped, but what he does is he kind of just lets me know, and sometimes it'll be last minute for the big stuff. I might have a seat. He might say, you have a seat right now, but things might change, and so you could consider that bumping. But Doug's been very fair. He's been very fair to everyone in town, and he's been great to me. He's given me plenty of like good seats in big games, and there used to be some more like fighting for seats, I think, in the past, not with Doug, but like with just the lodge in general. But now I've played in so many games, and I've brought players to their stream, and I've helped build stream lineups with Skull Mike, and so now I don't feel like there's much like jockeying for position anymore. It's like he lets me know when their stream's available. I let him know my availability, and I get tons of seats, so I'm very happy with the situation.
Yeah, it's amazing when you can get in a position to be able to perform where you want and be able to play when you want. Like it's something you got to work towards, but it's like it's cool that you're there now.
There was definitely more jockeying in the previous years, which is also why like it's important when you get on the stream. And I think it's why I did it for so long. I remember particularly where I wasn't getting seats, and then I was getting like the alt list. So it's like you're the first alternate. If someone busts, you get in. And that I remember feeling a lot of pressure to put on a show. Mm-hmm. And so when I would get in 2 or 3 hours into a stream, and I would just stack off, like just punt insane amounts of money and be down 20, 30 grand like real quick in the stream and be tilted out of my mind. Because like I knew like, well, I'm trying to make sure that I get the spot next time. Mm-hmm. And so, but I ended up just giving way too much action. Yeah.
Put an ice cube in my mouth. You need to keep talking.
Well, yeah. So we're going to go to questions now from the listeners.
All right.
This one has no name.
I'll read them off.
I thought we're not supposed to chew ice on the podcast.
I didn't mean to. I thought I only had big cubes, but I forgot before I found the big cubes.
Can you believe Ada's joining us today?
Very nice of Ada to join the pod. What a lovely cat.
She's the prettiest cat on the planet.
Dude, I was just down in Florida. My aunt's neighbor has an outdoor cat, and it's like a dog. It's extremely friendly. It's really weird. I love it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, like we said earlier, thank you guys for writing in all the questions, man. There's so much stuff that like we don't think of, and it's cool to like hear from you guys and know that people are actually listening to the pod. So again, if you want to write in and put some questions in the pod, Brandon always throws the link to submit questions in the description. So hit us with it. And if you're writing questions, keep writing, baby. We love hearing from you. Question number 1. We do not have a name associated with this one, but any tips for controlling heart rate when you hit a big hand? I always feel like I get sped up when betting on my hands, get a little shaky when I hit a huge... Okay, I always feel like I get sped up when betting, or my hands get a little shaky when I hit a huge hand.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
There's a few ways to go about this. You can, one, when you are bluffing or when you don't have good hands, you can practice holding your breath, which also speeds up your heart rate and makes you a little shaky. So
wait, you want to hold your breath?
Well, you want to be balanced.
Okay.
Right? So if you're getting shaky and your heart's beating fast when you have a good hand, and you don't feel that when you have a bad hand, you want to be balanced. So you want to have the same reaction when you're bluffing as when you're betting for value or you have a monster. So you can hold your breath, and that kind of creates a higher heart rate and a pulsation in the neck. And so I practice that when I don't have it, so that it looks the same as when you do have it.
Wow.
That's a little simple one. But if you're just specifically trying to slow down your heart rate and get the shakes out, nasal breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then broadening your awareness is another tactic. So you kind of get like locked in on the board. You kind of sit back. You can you want to like notice other things that are going on. So look around the room, notice other people, notice other things going on in the room while you're taking deep breaths through your nose and then out through your mouth.
So we were actually talking about this on the comedy vlog this week. For Christmas last year, my mom got me a Garmin running watch that has like my heart rate on it. And I always, knew that I got a little bit nervous before some sets. I knew that the heart rate would tend to go up. But there was a specific night where I knew things were actually going, like I kind of started to realize that I had a problem because of the watch. So I'd just gotten back into town, and you and a friend of yours dropped in just to watch one of my random open mic sets at Buzzmill. And I'm doing all this like new material, and it's an open mic, and it shouldn't be a high pressure situation. If I'm just standing up, my heart rate's usually somewhere between 70 and 100. If I'm sitting down, 50 to 70.
Yeah. I remember this story.
I look at my watch, it's 140.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My heart's beating out of my chest.
Cardio.
Yeah, it's like I'm running a 10K. And the watch was actually really enlightening because I started to realize that I have like legitimate performance anxiety issues. And it opened.
Don't we all?
Yeah, dude, it opened the door. It opened the door to some other stuff though, because I started looking at this and I started realizing that on some really high pressure sets, I was getting heart rate up to 140, but it was also happening at open mics, and it specifically would happen when I would be working out new material in front of my friends.
Yeah.
So if I knew that like my friends or other comics were there, I would start bugging out.
That's not like some huge insight, right? That seems like kind of natural. It's stuff you're shaky on that you haven't walked. It's not solid ground. And then you have your peers or friends that you care about their opinion.
Yeah, but my heart rate was getting so high that it was like creating a shake and stutter. So I was like shaking when I got up there and talking with like a complete, just like I couldn't get the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, no, that's every time I've done comedy. So
yeah, and I got to the point where those were gone, and then it started going away. But the thing is, at this point, I've been doing stand up for 9 years. I've probably done stand up 2,000 times.
Yeah, I've done it 40.
It should go away.
Yeah,
and it actually has started to give me really good insight because I'm looking at it and I'm going like, okay, now I do sets. And on a pretty regular basis, I can go on stage and have my heart rate be exactly what it would be if I'm just walking around. But I'm excited and I'm having fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a panic. So I would say if there's any, similarities between the two things, if you're in a situation where you're like legit shaking and you're completely dominated by the fear, it will negatively impact your performance for sure, right?
Yeah, it doesn't help for sure. The last time I did an open mic was at Odds Bistro, and my left hand started shaking. And then the first time I played super big, high stakes on stream, my heart rate was out of control. I think it's all natural, and it's not like you're doing something wrong, and it's not like, oh, why is this happening? It's you're putting yourself in an environment that you're not used to, and the more reps you put in, and the longer you spend in that environment, then if after a while it's still happening, then you should probably take a look. Like what you're saying, after years and years of doing comedy and it's still happening, then you gotta be like, all right, this is a problem. It's past the natural point. But I think whoever wrote this first question it's probably, it's not their 10th year playing poker at the stakes they're playing. So yeah, I would just add with the first question to take a look at the stakes you're playing and see if that's kind of some of it too. And if you can play smaller and see if that helps, or the money is a little less of a factor. Because anytime where the money's extremely important to your life, that's going to cause a lot of nervous energy, and it takes a long time to handle life-changing money, which is relative. It could be 10 grand or it could be 100 grand.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to get used to dealing with like life impacting amounts. And I still feel it, but I'm putting myself in the arena all the time. And so, and the stuff I do away from the table really helps. So like I would study meditation.
You're a big believer in TM, right?
Yeah, TM. I would study TM, transcendental meditation. There's a great book called Supermind that I read 5-6 years ago. That was a great place to start. Supermind, and it's on transcendental meditation. It teaches you what it's about. So that's a great place to start.
Great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, it's pretty inspiring how committed you are to the TM, that you're like, you lock yourself in a closet and sit on the floor and do 20 minutes every morning, right?
Bathroom with a chair with no neck support, because you need to prop up your neck yourself so you don't fall asleep, because the state between relaxation and meditation and then sleep it's a very fine line. And if you're fully supported, like if you lay down to meditate, you end up falling asleep.
Wow.
So you need like a chair with some support, but you're holding your neck with your own power.
Did you do it today?
I usually do it in the sauna now, or no, I didn't do it today, but I do it before most games, or especially big games. Or if I have like a big date that I'm kind of nervous for, I do it because it relaxes all the nerves, and it makes you.
Yeah, and
calm.
Then you compound that with the sauna. I mean, just dude, one thing that has definitely changed for me is when I was going to Squatch and I was hitting the sauna before I would do shows. It's too much. It would like suck.
It's great for poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine that it's not as good for comedy, because you need to be like up, and
yeah, I would show up and I'd be like, yeah, so
yeah, with poker that's perfect. You want to be super relaxed and low energy, calm when you sit down at a poker table. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be hyped up. So sauning before playing poker is highly recommended.
And don't do coke before you play. All right, next question. What are the rules/procedures for someone railing at a cash table or a tourney table? Railing means somebody standing on the side and giving you advice, right?
Railing is just, it's also called sweating. It's just a friend or girlfriend or whatever just sitting next to you while you play. The rules change depending on where you're at. So yeah, you just ask the house rules, and whether you're at a home game or a card room, just ask the house rules. Some home games don't mind it. Some home games have like a strict no guest policy.
That would be weird as fuck though, to have somebody railing for you at a home game. Like, would that not make you uncomfortable if somebody did that at a game that you were hypothetically running? So,
no, it's kind of common.
Brandon, would that not, like, even if we were playing like, you have 1-2 at Winston Dean's house, would that not make you?
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Be fucking nuts.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
That actually happens.
Yeah, you ask the game runner if what their policies are, because you have to remember that, a comedy show's an hour, a poker game's 9 hours. 10 hours. That's like all your whole day. And so if you play a lot of poker, you're going to be spending a majority of your time at the poker table. And if you have a loved one or a good friend that's in town or wants to see you, and you are in a game that you can't miss or whatever, they just want to come hang out.
Yeah, so you brought your mom on stream before too.
Yeah, like if my parents are visiting for 2 or 3 days, and I'm going to be at the lodge for 7 hours one of the days, like, yeah, come hang out, come see what it's like. But she's also been watching the stream since inception, and everyone knows her, and that's the first time they ever let someone sweat the live stream. Really? I'm not going to say rail because it's my mother, but my mom railed me.
Gross.
That was the first time ever that the lodge let someone come into the stream room and sit behind a player and watch the game. So that was cool. First and only. I don't think they like ever allowed it again. Because you got to get mic'd up, and it's distracting from the game. But like everyone loves my mom, and she's been
she's like a super fan.
She's one of the she might be like a moderator too in the live chat. So she's very engaged in the community, and so that was like a really special thing for her. That was great that they let that happen.
Yeah, that was really cool, man.
And then I got stacked in front of her, and she made fun of me. Which made a great clip.
It's nice that you're at a position with your mom where, like, you getting crushed, she knows that you're good enough to handle it. Because I'm still, like, figuring this thing out. So when my parents came to the Alabama show,
and you had a bomb
a couple years ago, and I fucking crushed, my mom's like, "This is awesome what you're doing. This is so cool." And then everyone came to Laugh Boston, and I sucked shit. And they're like,
"Honey,
like, they are hiring at a lot of these." You're like, oh my God. Like, hey, you're really good at producing shows. Maybe you shouldn't. I'm like, okay.
I'm trying to quit drinking right now. This is not helping.
Yeah, Jesus. Leave me alone.
All right, we got another question?
All right, we got another question from our brother Nicholas from Sweden. Dude, thanks for the questions, man. I think this is the second or third time you've written in. It is dope that we have people listening in other countries. So shout out to one of our 100 listeners. Hey, my beautiful knowledge and laughter, JC, bestow upon us with your wisdom of how to make and maintain a continuously run home game. What makes it successful? What makes people come back? How would the T1K home game look like? And where's my invitation? And then for me, Mr. Begley, what do you call a Spaniard that lost his car? Carlos. That's pretty good. You got to laugh out of Brandon too. That one. Let's go.
Are you gonna steal his material?
Shit, dude, I do need some new bits.
That's a good one.
All right, tell us about the home games, man. What's up?
Yeah,
the home games that you don't have.
No, it's the main thing is good action and vibes. Yeah. So the better somebody is with giving action, then the more leniency you can give them on their personality traits, their behavior at the table. So how that's kind of it's kind of like a spectrum here of or a diagram of like action and then behavior.
Yeah.
And so the better somebody is with giving action, the more they can get away with on being a jerk or being, if someone comes to your home game or your private game and dumps a bunch of money and calls your dealer, a bitch or a dick or is mean to somebody else at the table. It's not ideal. It's bad for the vibes. But if they're losing a ton of money in the game and they're funding the game, you're not going to be like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here, guy. We're trying to have a cool game."
Yeah.
You're gonna be a little more leniency. You're gonna take a little more shit. You have to take shit from if guys are big losers in the game or losing a lot of money, you have to take some shit if they want to give it. That's a part of it. Now there's a line. There's definitely a line of.
But that applies as the game runner too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you have to weigh all these things as the person running the game. Now, if someone is a winning player in the game, your rope is very short. You don't get to be a dick. Mm-hmm. You don't get to put down other people. You don't, on nights that you lose, because there's so much variance in poker. And when you're playing a game, you're going to have nights where no matter how good you are, how much you're up in the game, you're just going to get crushed. And so that's when the true test comes out, is like, how do you lose? And so the winners in the game on losing nights, or even when they're winning, they have to act right. They have to make sure that their vibes have to be up. Everyone needs to be having a good time, whether they're winning or losing. You can't be an obnoxious winner to a certain point. You can obviously needle and joke with other guys that, in good faith, and throw jabs, but it can't go past a certain point to where people are upset playing with you. Yeah. So you have to have a short rope with the winners, and then you have to extend a little more rope with the losers.
Interesting.
Obviously, this is a big factor. You need attractive women at your game. This is guys want to hang out. There's a reason why Hooters is still in business.
I know somebody who's really good.
And Twin Peaks and all women. Like tits sell. Like they just do. They just work. You need attractive ladies that are like serving the drinks.
I do love that important about you. If we go out and meet like an absolute smoke show, you will be like, "Hey, I know somebody that needs a poker waitress. Would you?"
Have you ever worked in a poker game?
It's kind of sick.
Immediately, yeah, because recreational players and guys just want to. Guys just want to be around hot chicks. That is how you
find out if you're a true 9 or 10 out of 10. If you are a 9 or 10 out of 10 and you meet John Christian Templeton, he will ask you if you've ever worked a pro poker game before.
Yeah, guys want to hang around beautiful women. So
if he says no, you're an 8 or below.
But yeah, it's a mixture of that. Another great piece of advice is the dealers need to be extraordinary. Because if the dealer is not in control of the game and the flow of the game, then the game can get drastically slowed down, and then the organization falls apart. So you need really strong dealers with experience. That's the first thing. When I go to a home game, I watch the mechanics of the dealer, and I watch how they control the game. If they're not in control of the game will fall apart. So you can have supermodels waiting the game, and you can have the best action in the world. If the dealer's making mistake after mistake after mistake, the game is just gonna die. Like you have to have super strong dealers in the box.
So how does tips play into this? Because you're talking about extending and tightening ropes on people, right? Does how much somebody tips a dealer or a waitress impact their ability to come back to a game?
Absolutely. So tips are extreme. Like being a good tipper is extremely important, and it goes back to are you a lifetime winner in the game? Then you need to be like the bigger the crusher you are in the game, the more you need to tip, because like if you're a pro and you're in a private game setting, and let's say like you're one of only 2 or 3 pros at the table, and the rest are recreational players that are there to have fun, to get the competitive juices flowing, to be around the waitresses or whatever. The staff and the dealers and the game runner, these are essentially your coworkers, and you want good vibes with everyone. And so you don't want to be the guy that is winning consistently in the game and then pissing the whole room off by being one of the worst tippers. You want to be one of the best tippers.
Yeah.
And then when the game runner is making the list for the following weeks or months or years to come, when you're getting compared, okay, well, these 2 guys are available. They're both playing for a living. They're both good players. yeah, but this guy tips really well, and this guy tips like shit. Well, guess who's going to get the seat? Guess who's going to get the invite?
Your dealers want this person back too.
The dealers are happy when they're at the table. The game girls are happy when they're at the table. That creates an amazing environment for you. So the more generous you are, it comes back.
And dude, there's again, comedy poker parallel. There are certain people in comedy that are going to get whatever spot they want, no matter what. You know, if D.L. Hughley, Mark Normand want to come play the Improv, they're going to go play the Improv. You're going to get that spot. But there are comedians, man, where when you walk into like, I was the first club in the country to pass me was the San Jose Improv. In my opinion, the best improv in the United States. It's amazing. The wait staff were my friends. They were really nice people. And you would hear about guys that came in 6 months ago and just decided at the end of the weekend, they go, how many waitresses were on staff this weekend? And they go, 20. They go, count out 20 20s, leave them on the counter, go just one for everybody for
Amazing.
a night. And that type of stuff, like it
changes the room.
It persists your reputation outside of stand-up.
Yeah.
Where the people that were known for tipping really well in comedy will always be known for that. I mean, at bare minimum, you shouldn't have to explain this, but if you're headlining a club for one night, you should tip the green room waitress $100 unless you're on the club minimum. Obviously, even as the feature, you should do that.
Yeah.
So
I have a great story.
Please.
No names whatsoever. This will be anonymous. But I was at a game one time where I watched a guy win like $73,000. And as they're cashing him out, they're counting all the chips. And there's like, so the red denomination chips are $5. The green are $25. Black are $100. Purple chips are usually $500, and then yellow are 1Ks. So they're counting it all up, and they're like, all right, you're up like $73,000. And then there was like $10. There's two $5 chips. And the game runner was like, oh, we'll just throw this to the girls. The $10. He's like, no, you can just count it all. And it was, so he wanted like the $73,000.
He wouldn't even tip $10
and 10.
Oh my God.
And it could have been an instance of just, someone new to the setting or whatever, and just didn't know, an honest mistake. But it was just something that it's always stuck with me.
It's just insane.
Like when you win $73K in a private game and you want them to send you $73,010. So don't do that.
Are you still expected to tip if you lose big?
No.
Okay.
No.
Tips come from the winners.
Yeah, the tipping obligation heavily weighs towards the people that are winning that night. Mm-hmm. And it's just natural. When you're buried in a game, you're going to be tipping less, and that's fine. I still try to be a good tipper, win or lose, as someone that makes their living off of poker. But I notice it in myself. Like when I'm getting crushed at a private game, I go from tipping $25 chips to maybe $5 or $10, just because you're buried in the game and it doesn't feel great. And then vice versa, when I'm up big, I'm more inclined to raise my tips. And then if it's always kind of better to, you try to just be consistent, because you don't know how the game's going to end. You could be up 20 grand the whole night, and then the last hand of the night gets stacked. And so if you're just tipping huge amounts the whole night, you don't know, you haven't won yet. So I try to be consistent. And then if I have a big win, when I'm cashing out, I throw extra to the staff, to the dealers, and to the waitresses. So if I end up having a big win, then I count it up. And if there's let's say I'm up like 22,000, like $225. I'll take the 225 and just throw it to the staff as additional tip, like the extra few hundred. And the game runner appreciates it, and the staff appreciates it. So it's like a little bonus.
100%. Yeah, dude. I mean, I was really lucky in that, like, I think working at the Improv and getting to work with like a super wide range of headliners, I really had it enforced quickly where it's like, if you are an asshole to the staff and you don't tip, your reputation will precede you, whether or not you want it to. And if you're cool and you take care of people, it will benefit you in more ways than you know. There is a sub conversation within every industry that's going on this guy's a dick, this guy's not, this guy's awesome. I mean, dude, for example, love him or hate him, Rogan has a reputation of being a legendary tipper. Legendary.
Yeah, I've heard that.
When he was working like clubs throughout the country, supposedly. I mean, dude, I know people who are on the road with this has been covered a million times, but the standard host feature at a club is 50, 100. So you get $50 to host and $100 to feature. The expectation is if you're pulling in 25 grand for the weekend, throw the host and the feature some extra money too. A lot of people don't do that. I think it's really not cool. Unless you asked for the spot, you know what I mean? Unless you're like, hey, or they don't know you. Rogan would supposedly go deep into his pocket to pay out a club pay to pay other people because he was making a fuckload of money doing Fear Factor. He just didn't care.
That's
so he's
awesome.
like, here's $5,000. And yeah, man, it's cool when people take care of you and people never forget it. And it's just like, I don't know, it's the right way to be.
Yeah.
So
can I summarize the home game question?
Yes, please.
Before we get out of here. So to summarize, I would say the most important factors to a successful private game, strong dealers, and then you need to make like vibe check the losers. So like how people lose, are they gracious losers, especially the pros or the winning players. So how people lose is really important, and can they keep the vibes up and not ruin everyone else's time just because they're having a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, like hiring waitresses that guys want to be around.
Yes. And that extends past just the looks, personality too.
Yeah. That extends past the looks. They need to have personality. Guys need to be sociable. Guys,
they need to be trustworthy too.
Trustworthy.
Which is something that you've...
Yeah, trustworthy. And then, can hold a conversation.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, just one more sub question on this one. Nicholas, you're getting some minutes today, baby. I feel like a lot of these are very applicable for games where it's private games where there's a lot of money at stake. Let's say that this is not the case. Let's say you're starting a game with your bros and you're playing 50 cents, dollar blinds.
Yeah.
1-2. Where do you start with that? Because I'm sure that you've been at a place where you were playing those kind of games.
Yeah, I started playing 5 cent, 10 cent with my friends.
Yeah.
You hand deal. So everyone takes turns dealing. So
the dealer shit is out of the question for that. You
can hire a dealer, but it's going to cost you way more than the stakes of the game.
So just all those questions that you just had with all the tips, let's throw them out for a second. Imagine that we're doing a 1-2 game, right? At home with 8 of your bros. You want to keep it going. You want to make it consistent. What do you do in that situation to keep it ripping?
I mean, that's just that's not really like you just choose a day and a time and you just try to stick around that schedule.
Yeah.
That's not really like a official private home game. That's more just playing with your buddies. There's not a lot like that goes into that. You get a bunch of beer at the gas station and you
consistent time, consistent place. And then when you do serve drinks, this is just such an easy upgrade, baby.
You can escalate it into something official and
get the cubed ice. Go on Amazon, and this is the easiest upgrade you can make for anybody that drinks hard alcohol. go on Amazon, get the packs of the round cubes are too hard to make and they always come out fucked up.
Yeah.
You want the trays of square ice cubes, extra large. Everybody loves that to drink
so
whiskey.
if you're in college and you're playing like a 25-cent, 50-cent game and you want to build it into something a little more official, you could start with the two mains is getting someone that knows how to deal poker, that's a strong dealer, and then finding like some attractive like classmates and offering them $50 or $100 to come and waitress your game for the night. You might only be playing for $10 or $20, but having an attractive girl there serving the drinks are going to keep the guys coming back.
And that poker dealer could be you. You could just spend some time coaching yourself up on being an excellent dealer.
Yeah, you could learn how to deal.
Yeah.
And do it yourself. Yeah.
Not bad.
Cool.
Brother, you guys, great questions this week. Always... I've already said we love hearing from you. I'm gay. I don't know what the fuck else.
Yeah, you are.
I had a blast today.
Thank you.
Rock and roll.
Wear more cashmere.
Roll Tide.